Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you some processes of making things for my Christmassy album, kind of journaling, scrapbooking, pocket pages, whatever I feel like doing in this album. Really, it's not a December daily because I don't like December daily personally. I find it far too much of a pressure to do something every day in December, or even every other day would be, too much for me. So it's just this album that I started it last year. I put in things that don't have to be from that year. I've got things from way back to when I was a kid, and I've got things from the current year. Just, it's kind of all over the place, and that's the way I craft, and that's the way I journal, and the way I memory keep. So it works for me. And if you find December daily or December documented or any of the challenges a bit too much, then maybe this kind of thing could work for you too. Completely casual, do whatever you like from whatever year you like. There we go. I'm starting off doing a page that I'm kind of incorporating a pocket page kind of thing into it. I have one of these little 4-piece 2x2 square pockets, and I'm going to do a sort of food related page because Christmas food is one of my favourite things about Christmas. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Christmas dinner particularly. Not just the food of like snacks and chocolate and drinking Baileys and things, but actual sit down Christmas dinner is it's my favourite thing. So I'm using that little not 4x4, 2x2 pocket page thing to add little 2-inch-ish size pictures of, I don't think it's last year, I think it's Christmas dinner the year before, just 3 photos. Just simply putting them on, going around everything with Distress Oxide. I use fired brick on this pages because I usually go for what's the colour I use? Candied apple. That's the one I usually use for festive things, or for a festive red colour, but I wanted the fire brick because it was a more vintagey page. The papers I'm using are a Prima collection. It's called Country Christmas, Christmas in the Country, something along those lines. It came out 3 years ago, I'm going to say, something like that, so it might be hard to get hold of, but I was definitely going with the vintagey vibe. And then on the other side of that pocket page, I particularly cut out like an image from a paper, so I didn't really have to do anything to that other side. You just have that lovely image of the barn, and I'm just going to add a couple little phrases. I have that Tim Holtz Christmas chipboard. I'm going to take off that top layer so it's not as dimensional, and then I'm going to stitch those into place because I just love the look of things being stitched on. That's my reason why. There it is. I've stitched those on. And then I'm going to work on my base page. So you saw me do it at the beginning. I cut that page. I can't remember exactly what size it is because I didn't actually cut it to a size. I was actually cutting the specific image that was on the page. Sometimes, if you're familiar with Prima paper products, they often have these pages that they're almost like cut aparts, but also kind of not like cut aparts. It's hard to describe, but you can kind of make out very separate images on them. So that's what I've done with that. And then it was a bit too wide, so I folded in about 1.5 inches off the side, and that's what I'm going to use to add that little pocket page I did, so that can sort of flap open. For the background of the inside of the page, I'm doing a really simple collage with scraps that are just all over my desk at the moment. My desk is complete Christmas chaos of scraps of projects. It's just ridiculous. I haven't even made that many cards this year. I've only made 5 cards this year because thankfully I made way too many last year, so I had lots to use, but still, just Christmas scraps chaos everywhere. I'm bringing it into my album. So the photo is just a picture of my mum with her happy Santa hat on and carving the turkey from, again, I think this is 2 years ago rather than last year, I'm going to say. But yes, Christmas dinner. Yum, yum, yum. Although I am aware, so a lot of my viewers are in the States, and I know you guys have different Christmas dinner to what we do in the UK. Like in the UK, we tend to have a more set thing, like specific things, more like you guys have for Thanksgiving, but I understand that you have slightly different things on Christmas. So I'd love to know. Let me know what you have on your Christmas Day main meal, or even if you're in the UK and you have something different, that's cool, or anywhere in the world, let me know your Christmas meal celebration. I just love food and I just want to hear about it, really. That's all there is to that. I am never going to be a skinny person, ever. Nope, not happening. So that page was super, super simple with collaging scraps, adding my photo, adding a few bits of ephemera, and not really a title, just a word, so there's something to read, and then some Tim Holtz clipping stickers, little phrase stickers. Phrase stickers are like my go-to when I feel like I haven't done enough to a page, but I don't really want to start thinking about the images of different kinds of die cuts or stickers or whatever. Phrase stickers are the answer to that situation. So on the reverse side, again, I was using up some scraps that were on my desk. These are all from, oh, I can't think of it. It's a first edition paper. It might be called Merry Little Christmas. It might not be. You know what? It's going to annoy me if I don't find out, so I'm going to pause and find out what it's called. Okay, I was completely off. It's called Almost Christmas. So first edition, Almost Christmas. It came out year before last, I'm going to say. It's really, really lovely. It's a gorgeous paper pad. It's really traditional, which is my kind of thing, but with slightly non-traditional elements and colours a little bit. I don't know, that paper there, the slightly green background with the glittery green holly is, oh, it's gorgeous. Anyway, I'm still going on with the food theme, so I found that cut apart, which is from an authentique paper I've had for years, with the very vintagey image of the girl cooking something Christmassy. Here I'm adding a few of my own stickers, the bow and the Christmas pudding and the candy canes. Those are from my shop. And then I wanted to add an area of journaling, so I pulled out these Tim Holtz cards. These are from this year's Christmas collection, I believe. I'm just sort of ripping myself using a tearing ruler, or a decal edge ruler, I think is the proper name. Yeah, just getting that ready to add my actual journaling on. And then the big dilemma I had with this is that the card I pulled out was all kind of food related. Like the back is all vintage Christmas recipes, which is so perfect, obviously, for what I'm doing. But then I was like, I don't want to cover it up. I can't think of any way to decorate this card because I don't want to cover any of it up. So I played around with it and I don't know, I couldn't do it. So I thought I'll add my journaling, and then, you know, then got to have a little break from it, and then I'll go back and I'll decorate it, and then I still couldn't. So I'll either leave it just like as it is with the recipes on, or I'll go back another day when I've had a longer break from it and add something else. But I don't think it matters if I don't add it. I think it's just I'm used to not having lots of blank things in my journals and my albums and things. So having something like that space that doesn't have anything that I've stuck on it feels weird to me. But I'll leave it for now, and then if I feel like adding something to it at a later date, even next year, who knows, then I'll do it. Using a guide to punch the holes in the right places, and that's my first little page about Christmas food. Yay, food! So for my next page, I wanted to find something very tree related, because I had these photos of my cat Conan under the tree last year, and they're these really good photos. You probably won't be able to see it very well in the video, but he's under the tree and he's looking up at the twinkly lights, and you can see the reflection of the twinkly lights in his eyes, and it's so gorgeous. But it's also like, you can tell by his face that he's like, must attack the twinkly lights. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted something tree related, as I said. The paper that I pulled out is from Simple Vintage North Pole. That's it, from Simple Stories, which is from the paper pad. I wanted it double-sided because it is paper, so it wasn't heavy enough to put into the album on its own, so I've backed it with a similarly sized paper that was a cheap paper pad from the works. Just, they are slightly different sizes, so I've trimmed off one edge and then hidden the other edge sticking out with a bit of washi tape. And then I started playing around with those little photos I told you about that I printed, but the two of them it wasn't right, it looked weird. I had to balance it out with a third. So just to make it a little bit different, I printed one that was double the size, so they weren't all the same size, and slightly different theme of Conan chewing on the tree, which he does every year. I don't know why. As soon as we put it up, he has to have a little chew on it. I don't know what that's about exactly, probably a scent marking thing, but anyway. And for all the pearl clutchers out there, it's not a real tree, it's a fake tree. He's not swallowing anything. He's fine. It's okay. But anyway, have running pictures every year of him having a little chew on that tree. So that's what I'm including. I backed pictures on glittery paper, so green glitter and red glitter, very traditional Christmas. Even though the Sprocket photo paper is sticky, it was not sticky enough to put down on glitter, so I did add some glossy accents to that to help it stick down. Place them on the tree like so you can still very much see it's a tree shape behind. And then from that same Vintage North Pole collection, pulling out a few little bits and pieces like these little baubles and some little bits of holly to stick on the tree as if it's a decorated tree as well. And I'm sticking those on with glue dots, so there's a little bit of dimension to it as well. And I'm still keeping with that fired brick Distress Oxide to go around the edges of everything. But then after I added the holly, I just something else was needed. So I pulled out these beautiful gem things. Those are from that Prima collection I was using before, and I put those on to be, you know, just a sparkly something, maybe a hint towards Christmas lights. I don't know, something like that. And then I also pulled out from a pack of thickers, which I think they're a crepe paper one from not recently. And there was a star, and I thought I'd put that little star on top of the tree. Pulled out some of these label stickers, again from the vintage North Pole collection, to add a little bit of journaling to explain the pictures. But I did a big bit of journaling down the bottom, a smaller bit of journaling here about his twinkly light eyes, and then it was completely unbalanced with 2 bits of journaling, so I pulled out some phrase stickers to balance out the words on the page, as it were. And then I went around those words with a faux stitched border, and then I'm going to add a slightly larger faux stitch effect to the whole page. Now, I did go back later on and add some gold splatters to that page, but I don't think I got that on camera, but I will show you what the splatters look like at the end of the video. But now I needed to do something on the other side of the page, and it had that really lovely wooden effect with the Christmas tree leaves and the pine cones and things, and I wanted to kind of carry on with that theme, but just make it a little bit more my style, my aesthetic, collagey, scrappy, vintagey kind of thing. So I pulled that paper out. Again, I think it's from the same brand via the Works Christmas pad. My Christmas stash has got to a point, it's just a total mess. I don't know where anything is from. I don't know what year it's from, so I'm sorry. It's just, that's the way it is. My Christmas stash is all over the place. Anyway, pulled out these frames from that same collection because I don't think I've ever used them. And the photo I'm adding to this one is actually a picture of me, and just me. Kind of occurred to me that in my Christmas album, there's like virtually no photos of me at all, and especially no photos of just me. Like, there might be 1 or 2 where I'm with other people, but I don't know. And I think this is a thing a lot of us do quite a lot of the time, is forget to include ourselves in our journaling and other forms of memory keeping. I know I'm really bad for it. So I had this photo, I'm just sat in front of the tree looking and smiling at something in the distance, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to use this one of me. And it's not an awful photo, because 99% of the time I despise photos of myself. So yeah, I thought I would throw it in. I didn't like the frame that the only one that really worked, like angle wise, wasn't really doing it for me, so I just used the other edge, which didn't have anything on the frame, so it just kind of borders the photo a little bit, makes it stand out a bit, but doesn't have anything on it. Most of the ephemera I'm adding is from Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Country Christmas, I think. I did write these down, but I could be completely wrong, so I'm sorry if I am. And some of the other ephemera is from this year's Tim Holtz Christmas ephemera pack. And I went around the edges of everything with Distress Oxide in weathered wood, just to be a bit different. I was fed up of using red by this point. I cut out that Merry and Bright from a little journaling card as a sort of title, and that's pretty much it for that page. Just a really, really simple one. Adding gold splatters here with Winsor & Newton gold drawing ink. And as I said, yeah, really simple, but just felt like adding me into my own album. So there we go, showing you there the gold splatters I added to the Christmas tree page. Then again, I'm going to use a little guide to punch the holes in, and that is going to be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I apologize I'm not around so much at the moment. I'm getting like a video every 2 weeks or something at this point. I am sorry. Things just, there's an end in sight to my busyness, but I'll tell you when the time comes. Anyway, links in the description box to products that I can still find, that are still easy to find out there, that are still available or whatever. Check those out if you are interested. Remember to tell me about your Christmas food, because I want to hear about it, because, well, I'm actually hungry right now, so yeah. And of course, if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can still tell me about the food that you eat. I need to go have some dinner right now. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you again so much for watching. Chat to me in the comments, leave me a thumbs up. I am going. Thanks again. Bye bye.